What it is, YouTube. You know what it is. It's your boy Tom. Ooh. Welcome to DJ's All Things Tech. Okay, so this episode, I was thinking, that we came out of the power source, out of the wall. Okay, so now we are through the extension cord. The power is going through the extension cord. Where does it go to? Okay, so there's a couple things that we can do. You could either, and we are going to talk about the disadvantages and advantages of having a power conditioner and surge protectors. Okay, so let's get this straight before I get into this. Surge protectors and power conditioners are two different things. They do two different roles. So the first role, I'm going to read it to you so you get it. It says a surge protector or a surge strip does help protect your equipment against power surges and impulses, just as the name suggests. Basically, only the voltage reaches a point known as a clamping voltage. The impulse is diverted away from your equipment and to safety ground of your building's electrical system. Unfortunately, it will do little to protect against other power related issues. Also, it should be noted that surge protection differ in construction and effectiveness, and different types of surge protectors use different methods that balance high clamping voltage and results time. The difference matters used by surge protectors is complicated enough to deserve a blog devoted to it, and we will look at it in the future depth in the future. Okay, so, but what's the difference? Okay, so now we read about that. It says, unfortunately, the SMPS does not protect against power line and neutral to ground noise voltage. Where a power conditioner comes in, it makes sure that the noise voltage is cleaned up for the stable. This will not only help prevent obvious power-related failures, such as burned out PSUs, it may also minimize gremlins in your system. Those little unexpected glitches and lockups that don't have any obvious causes. The type of building you're in can also make a difference in how clean the power output is. For example, my office house was built in 1800s. The electrical system has been upgraded a number of times since construction, but I do not have absolute confidence. Okay, so, and then yada yada, he gets into it. But what the difference is what it's trying to tell you is that there are two different roles in a DJ in the setup. Now, basically, what will happen is you hook up your system and you're in an older building and you have complete silence. You have utter silence. There's nothing going on. And you walk by your speakers Enter. Lowly and faint. There's a hum in the background, and you can't put your finger on it. So you figure, oh well, it's the wiring that I have. So you're tweaking your wiring, and you're trying to get rid of that hum, but you're just going crazy. You can't get past it. You got brand new XLR cables. You're not running RCA to XLR or RCA to quarter inch, or the other way around, XLR to quarter inch. So you you got it. You got the right. For gosh sakes, you just bought $50 hose of equipment. You shouldn't have that hum, right? That's absolutely wrong. You gotta have a power condenser. And you gotta have a surge protector. And this is where you're gonna do it. You gotta get a rack. There's no doubt about it. You're gonna have to get a rack one time or another. Because the table deal is gonna last you for a certain amount of time. But when you start getting the different things, you're going to have a rack. So what are you going to do? Unfortunately, I can set myself up and I can build my rack to go on my table because my table's set up that way. I can actually make my table my rack and put wheels on it and do all kinds of stuff to it. I can change it. I can make it work. I can make it so that it doesn't fold in. No problems. So that's the deal. That's the name of the ball game today, is the condensers. And so basically, the condenser cleans the electricity, and the power strip stops the surge from coming to your equipment. So how do you set it up? I'm going to tell you how you set it up. So now, you have your extension cords, and you have, what do? You're at a gig. What's it going to look like? GFCI is coming out first. GFCI is coming out first. Especially if you got an outside gig. Make sure you get a GFCI, which is a ground faulty system. Basically, if something goes wrong with your wire in between there and here, it's going to automatically shut down your system. Surge protector is not going to be able to do that. That's not what surge protectors are for. So you're going to have a GFCI. GFCI. Remember what we talked about. 12 gauge all the way down to the system. 25 feet. Plug into our equipment. Yes. 25 feet at 12 gauge. It's a little more expensive, but it's going to save your ass in the long run. To run proper, run proper extension cords, run properly. Everything needs to be run proper. Don't just go out and get a 16 gauge thinking, oh, I'm going to run my system with. No. Think proper. Invest a little money. A little trick that I learned when I was working. I was working with the journeyman. Now, I did not have no tools of my own when I started working. Actually, I came to work. This is funny. I came to work. I do not know nothing about sheet metal, and I have a full set of sheet metal tools with me because my friend loaned them to me for a week till my first paycheck. And then what happened is they took me to Harbor Freight. I went to Harbor Freight and got all my tools. I spent $50. I spent $50 on my first set of sheet metal tools. And at first I used a regular hammer. Then a journeyman took me to a place to get the hammer. So I got the proper hammer. Then all these tools started going up. But it took weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months, and it took me the first 2 months to get tooled up properly. I was tooled up. I was a pre-apprentice, and I was tooled up. And people were coming in complaining, but I was tooled up, so I didn't care. That's what I'm talking about here. Is you got to tool up. You got to have the proper equipment. Pay the proper price for the proper equipment. It'll save you in the long run. So the GFCI goes into the extension cord, and the extension cord, right? You do not go right into the condenser. Because if you go right into the condenser and something happens, your condenser's gone. And all your equipment's plugged into the condenser. Plug in the surge protector, and then the condenser gets plugged into the surge protector. Then, yes, and then all your wires will plug into the condenser. And then that's how you're going to have to set it up. Unfortunately, that's the way that's going to work. So, brief scenario. GFCI, extension cord, 12 gauge, 25 feet or greater, 25 feet to 100. We don't go over 100 feet. As we're doing this, we're coming off that wall, gap tape. If you can't afford gap tape, and I had my roll of gap tape out, and I pulled it out and I set it on the table. And the guy goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm taping my wire. I'm taping my wires down. I'm going to tape the wire down with this. Not in this place." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Here, use this." It's not black. It's blue. It's probably going to be hard for you to get it in black. It comes in 2 different colors, but it doesn't matter. You know, I get it. Okay, I get the idea, but I get it. I really do. But I don't. I really don't see where having a black... I think it's because of presentation. I think it's because they think that the DJs... I'm going to tell you down here. I'm going to tell you down here in Texas. I don't have somebody come up to me saying, "Son, that's an orange wire." No. "Hey, man, that's a good shit, man. You played the good shit tonight, man." That's what I'm talking about. "Man, that was funked up shit, man. You played the real..." I was at a wedding. I bombed the garden, but when I was tearing down and I was leaving, one of the client's patrons comes up to me and he goes, "Man, that's some good shit. You played it on real. You didn't even use the edited version." I didn't use the edited version because at the time I didn't know that there were edited versions of the song. Well, I knew there's edited versions, but I didn't know that I could actually go to a one-stop shop and get them. October 12th is when I actually found the episode with DJ Elixir. I'm going to put a card up here in the video. Up here in the video. Up here in the video is a card. DJ Elixir. It'll take you to check it out. Tell me what you think. Check her whole channel out. It's on fire, but it doesn't matter. It matters that we support each other. But yes, check it out because she's on real. She tells you like it is, how it is, why it is. Check that out. All right, but anyways, so my movie format's ready. I got a new introduction for YouTube, so I'll be on the lookout for that. But anyways, subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell. I'll put it over my head this time.
According to Coleman's dictionary, if you say that someone or something...
Didn't click that. Anyways, hit my bell for notifications. And go ahead, and if you like what you hear, hit that fancy button downstairs, right down there, with the like button. And if you don't like what you hear, hit that fancy down there stuff. Don't like. Teamwork, Chinese proverb of the day. Behind every able man, there's always another able man. No one accomplishes anything alone. 3 humble shoemakers brainstorming can make a great statements. Teamwork allows people to do much more than any one person can do on their own. Only when contributing their firewood can they build a strong fire. It takes a group of people to build something that will last. And that being said, peace.
Riding on the subway, most of the loose, oh, it's going my way. Most of the loose, chasing down my taxi. Nights are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.